SafeHouse Denver has been standing with survivors of domestic violence in the Denver community for 45 years. A lot has changed since 1977, from our name, to the fashions, to the way we raised funds.
The race you remember as a women's run to benefit SafeHouse became the first ever Heels and Wheels event this morning.
Well, it's to raise money for SafeHouse Denver, and we operate a shelter for 30 women.
Denver on Board is the exciting one-of-a-kind board game where the spaces and everything else is all Denver. Proceeds from the sale of each game benefits SafeHouse Denver.
We ride 235 miles to all the Coldwell Banker offices, and I raise money every year for SafeHouse Denver. It's always been a cause that's been near and dear to my heart.
You've got another fundraiser. It's coming up.
We do.
The Hope Gala.
In 1977, 5 women in Denver formed one of the first domestic violence shelters in the U.S., called SafeHouse for Battered Women, after recognizing that there was nowhere for women and children to go after leaving an abusive relationship. Since then, SafeHouse Denver's programs have grown to address the many ways domestic violence affects the community beyond the need for safe shelter. Our community outreach program was formed in 1985 to offer services to those that have safe shelter and are in need of other resources. When stalking was formally defined as a crime in the state of Colorado in 1992, the Counseling and Advocacy Center was formed to expand educational outreach and non-residential counseling services. Recognizing that the agency's work goes far beyond shelter services, it was renamed SafeHouse Denver in 1994. That same year, the O.J. Simpson murder trial becomes a turning point in the domestic violence movement. SafeHouse Denver responds to a record 20,000 calls to the crisis line as more people become aware of the lethal dangers of abusive relationships.
This media circus is opening all our eyes to the very serious problem of domestic violence. It's a community problem that the SafeHouse is solving, one woman and one child at a time.
As the years passed, SafeHouse Denver programs expanded, including services in Spanish, working with the LGBTQI+ and multicultural communities, as well as updates to the shelter and a new building for counseling. In 2014, to mark the 20th anniversary of the Violence Against Women Act, SafeHouse Denver hosted then Vice President Joe Biden, Mayor Michael Hancock, and other prominent local voices in the domestic violence arena for a roundtable discussion. After many years of planning and securing funds, the Extended Stay Program welcomed its first residents in 2018, giving residents of the shelter more time to access secure housing and employment. In 2020, despite a global pandemic shifting service provision, SafeHouse Denver purchased the building that housed the Counseling and Advocacy Center and began renovations to the garden level for a conference center shortly thereafter. So much has changed in 45 years, and yet so much is still the same.
There is nowhere for a woman to go when she has 2 suitcases with the bare essentials and $5.
Our passion.
They reached out.
They took me in.
They listened.
They helped my mommy.
They supported me.
Entendieron.
They helped me feel safe.
Our heart.
Tonight, we stand for change. We gather to celebrate what we have done.
You know, I've finally got my own apartment, I've got a car, I've got 2 great little boys. So in other words, I won.
Our mission.
Keep going until every house is a safe house.
And our community, the individuals, funders, businesses, and volunteers that continue to support survivors of domestic violence year after year. Whether you've been with us for 45 years or 45 minutes, you are part of this community. We couldn't do it without your support. We are so grateful.